Greetings from LA, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I very much hope that this video finds you well and in very good spirits wherever you are in the world. I am still in LA. I'm in my home. I'm in a different room today, but I hope you don't mind because I wanted to share with you some thoughts and comments I had. I think yesterday, the Criterion Collection made its announcement with respect to its planned releases for November 2024. And so, if it's okay with you, my dear friends, I wanted to share with you some thoughts and comments I had with respect to its planned releases. It's a very interesting collection of titles. So, if it's okay with you, my dear friends, let me share with you my initial thoughts and comments. Of course, as we get closer to the November release dates and when the items do in fact get released and when they arrive or when we are able to purchase them and engage with them and explore them directly head on, my reactions or my opinions might change, of course. But as of now, right now, my initial thoughts and comments with respect to these planned releases are as they are today, right now, at the middle of August 2024. So, my dear friends, if it's okay with you, let us share with each other. Let me share with you my thoughts and comments with respect to the planned releases for November 2024 from the Criterion Collection. First up, scheduled for release November 5th, 2024. And this is a title which actually already exists in the Criterion Collection in, among other things, a really lovely and cool Blu-ray at spine number 594. But this time, on the occasion of November 5th, Criterion will be making available, apparently, an alternative physical media option, the 4K plus Blu-ray of a title. And this is going to be purported to be based on what is described as a new 4K digital restoration of a film which is described as being from the year 1954. And this is the work which is from the filmmaker Ishiro Honda, and it is a work which is known as Gojira or Godzilla. This is very cool news, very cool news. It's a title that I think is quite famous for, among other things, the Criterion Collection releases over the years, including the Blu-ray and then a release of this film, which was in a Gojira, the Showa era set, a very, I think, a very popular and very famous Criterion collector set release from a couple of years back. And now we have the Criterion 4K digital restoration release of this title, of iconic title, very famous title, and one that is very much part of a key period of Japanese cinema and indeed of world cinema of the 1950s, and very keyed into Japanese history as well as looking back on Japanese history, as well as looking forward, because Gojira or Godzilla will, from this point on, be very much, in many ways, in the eyes of many, kind of ubiquitous, and also very much an emblem or a representative of Japanese cinema going forward. So, not just tokusatsu, but I think on a really an interesting way, intertwined with Japanese cinema, Toho cinema, and the like. So, special effects cinema and the like. So, this is a very important film, and I'm very happy at seeing the 4K digital restoration release treatment from Criterion on North American shores, as it is, again, the 5th of November, 2024. It looks like we have the same supplements that we have on that great Blu-ray. We have the same supplements which will be made available on the 4K plus Blu-ray, the Blu-ray component of this new release. It looks like everything will be carried over. We'll check this when the item arrives on the 5th of November, but it'll be very fun to be able to re-examine this. I should note that in Japan, for those who know Japanese releases will know this already, but just in case, of course, Toho has been re-releasing its catalog titles and has been engaging with releasing these on the 4K remastered restoration editions. And so, in fact, already the Japanese market has already seen a re-release on 4K Blu-ray of Gojira, as well as some other Toho titles, by the way. We'll speak about one other momentarily. But this is very exciting news that Toho is now allowing Criterion to release its 4K remaster titles. So is this a sign of things to come? Who knows? Hopefully, fingers crossed, there might be more Toho titles that will be given the 4K release treatment on this side of the globe as well. But in any event, very, very exciting. I would assume that the Toho restoration materials will be the basis for these Criterion releases. So, for instance, the Godzilla release here, I'm assuming will be the same materials that we've seen in terms of the Japanese 4K release in the Japanese market. But we will see. We will see. In any event, this will be a great opportunity to watch this film for, again, I've seen this film so many times. It's incredible. It's enthralling. And it has a very an eerie quality to it, as well as foreshadowing or ushering in, as I say, the sort of tokusatsu genre of cinema that will become very famous as the years progress. Made famous already in 1954 with a work like Gojira or Godzilla. So, my dear friends, this is scheduled for release November 5th, 2024, and it is the 4K plus Blu-ray combo release of Gojira. Next, scheduled for release on November 12th, 2024, and this is a title which is going to be given spy number 1239, and it looks like we have the 4K plus Blu-ray combo edition format or a single disc Blu-ray format option of a film described as being from the year 1932. The name of the filmmaker is Howard Hawks. And the name of the work is Scarface. And this is quite a surprise, really quite a surprise. This is purported to be based on what is described as a new 4K digital restoration with uncompressed monaural soundtrack. So, wow. I don't know anything about the new 4K digital restoration, so it'll be interesting to see what that has in store for us when we watch the film courtesy of this new Criterion release. But wow, Scarface, Howard Hawks' Scarface, 1932 Scarface is coming to the Criterion collection in this way. I'm looking at the features. There are, for instance, some new interviews and new conversations, including, I might add, in what seems very enticing here, a conversation between Megan Abbott and Bill Hader. So, wow, very cool indeed. I should point out that I've seen this film a number of times already throughout the course of my life. Been very fortunate to have been able to see this film, including most recently, thanks to a great release from Imprint. This release, which is the Blu-ray, the high-def release Blu-ray. But it has some features here which I don't think are carried over into the Criterion release, but maybe I'll try to do. This has some really great special features as well. But we'll talk a little bit about the supplements when we explore the Criterion release a bit further, again, in November. Again, the release is November 12th, 2024. This film is really something. It is something. There is a kind of, and I mean this in a very complimentary way, a brilliant, almost out of control aspect of the performance by Paul Muni here. Really just in a kind of way, it's sort of larger than life and out of control and no holds barred aspect to it. In the context of 1932, of course, so it's given that sense of cinematic context. And it's been remarked upon over the generations. I mean, filmmakers, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and up to today have been referring back to this film Scarface, and I think for good reason. And there is a way in which it is introducing, I think, for people who are going to watch this film for the first time, it is introducing the sort of gangster film dynamic as it's been, I think, as it's exemplified in sort of 1920s, 1930s cinema on the one hand. But it also exemplifies, a kind of kinetic energy that is quite undeniable and I think very entertaining. So it'll be great to engage with this film once again. Howard Hawks' Scarface is coming to the Criterion Collection. It'll be interesting to see what this new 4K, or described as being the new 4K digital restoration, it'll be interesting to see how one responds to this as one watches it. But I'm looking forward to this as well. Again, it'll be, if you have another release of it, just hold on to that for the time being. Again, when we talk about some of the supplemental features and the like, and the looks and sounds of the presentation, etc. But this is really knock one's socks off type of announcement here already. Again, and then we have a Blu-ray option, and then the 4K plus Blu-ray option in terms of the physical media availability. No DVD, unfortunately, but that is, I guess, par for the course in terms of Criterion releases. Sometimes we'll get a DVD release, sometimes we won't, but oh well, such is life. But returning here to this really great news, really great news, scheduled for release November 12th. Wow, scheduled for release November 12th, 2024, is the Howard Hawks film Scarface. Next, scheduled for release also on November 12th, 2024. And this is a title which actually already currently exists in the Criterion Collection physical media catalog. It's Spy Number 2. But this time, we will be seeing, again in November, a new release of this on the 4K plus Blu-ray physical media option format, or format option, and purported to be based on a new 4K digital restoration of a film described as being from 1954, and this is a film from the filmmaker Akira Kurosawa. And the name of the work is, in English, Seven Samurai. So, this has been in the news of late in terms of releases of this film, Seven Samurai, the 4K restoration, described as being a new 4K digital restoration. This has already been in the news in sort of the Japanese market in terms of Toho and 4K re-releases. This has been going on for a little bit of years now, but now we are gradually seeing in Japan a lot of the Toho 4K remasters given home video or home media release treatment, which is really nice, and hopefully that trend will continue to the extent possible. But now we're seeing a lot of the output given North American release treatment, which is also very nice. I mentioned earlier another 1954 film from Toho, that being Godzilla, being given a November Criterion release treatment. And now we have Seven Samurai from Kurosawa, also from 54, given the same treatment. It'll be interesting to see how people respond to this. I'm assuming it'll be the same materials, the 4K materials that we've seen in Japan thus far, but in any event, this will be a great opportunity to re-examine, re-explore, and re-celebrate this film. I've spoken, I think, a number of times about this film already, but it'll be great to try to talk about it again and reassess my feelings about this film. Let me say that I had the great fortune of being able to watch this film in the theater, projected on film, and this was many years ago at a screening on campus at my university, at my college, when I was a university student. And I am still holding on to such memories very passionately, because it was one of the greatest film theater going experiences of my life. Watching Seven Samurai, feeling the electricity in the crowd, seeing how the audience was responding to these scenes of the story it's a story that has a lot of action, it has a lot of passion, romance, tragedy, deception. There's a lot of strategy. It's a war film from a certain regard. It's also a film about class. It's a film about economics. It's a running time discussion. It's a long film in terms of its running time, but it goes by so quickly. And now I'm thinking back on that movie theater experience many years ago, and it's still electrifying. There were gasps in the audience at key moments. It was chills, such chills. And it's a film like Seven Samurai that I think is, and for many people, it's a stand-in for cinema. I mean, Seven Samurai for many people is cinema. And I think for good reason, because it is such a darn good movie. This is so entertaining, so sweeping, so larger than life, so filled with highs and lows. And it's a film that I know the story. I've seen it so many times. I know the story. I know what's going to happen. But every time I watch it, I'm always caught off guard. I'm always surprised at what I'm seeing. It feels like it's that electrifying, and the scenes of quiet contemplation are so tender and so sensitive, and the scenes of grand action are enthralling and sweeping and puts one on edge. I mean, this has also this sense of nail-biting suspense in true Kurosawa fashion. Oh my goodness, Seven Samurai is getting the 4K Criterion release treatment here. North American release. I cannot wait to talk about this one again. So this is going to be released November 12th, 2024, and this is the 4K plus Blu-ray combo edition of the Kurosawa film, which is Seven Samurai. Next, scheduled for release on November 19th, 2024, and this is going to be given a 4K plus Blu-ray release treatment or a single disc Blu-ray physical media option. And this is going to be a title which is going to be designated Spine Number 1240, and a film which is described as being from 1968, and this is from the filmmaker William Wyler, and the name of the film is Funny Girl. This is so cool. This is really cool. Funny Girl, William Wyler, Barbra Streisand, Omar Sharif, and this is such a great film. I remember seeing this film many years back for the first time on a home media release. I don't have it on a physical media release now, but that's certainly going to change when it's going to get released here again, November 19th, 2024. This is really lovely. This is very lovely. It's in terms of performance of songs and kind of the approach of the human drama of the story. This is a very famous. There's some key iconic moments of this film, and it'll be great to be able to watch this again. This is shaping up to be a very interesting month. And Funny Girl. And it's described as being a 4K digital restoration. So, again, I don't have my finger on the pulse of the release history of this film, Funny Girl. So, I don't have experience with the 4K digital restoration yet, but that will change in November. So, but I'm looking forward to this very, very much. Yes, William Wyler and Barbra Streisand, more Barbra Streisand in the Criterion collection, which is always very welcome. And here we have the latest installment in that, scheduled for release November 19th, 2024. Wow. This is the William Wyler film, funny girl. Next, scheduled for release November 26th. Yes, 26th, November 26th, 2024. And this is scheduled for Spy number 1242. This is a film which is described as being from the year 2017. And the name of the filmmaker is Guillermo del Toro. And the name of the work is The Shape of Water. This is another interesting one. I've only been able to see this film once. And so I am already, this is true for any film that I talk about on this channel, but for example, The Shape of Water, I'm still, there are some aspects of it that I'm still maybe unsure about, and I have to watch it again to be able to sort of solidify that. But it'll be a great opportunity then in November to be able to watch this courtesy of the Criterion release, which is going to be a 4K plus Blu-ray release based upon a 4K digital master according to the materials. So this is a really fascinating film. Guillermo del Toro has this great gift of being able to take essentially any genre or genres or categories of cinema and really infuse a sense of passion and an individualized sense of passion towards his cinema. And I really get a sense of that in the viewing of The Shape of Water that I had a few years ago. And because this is a film that is, I think, is balancing so many things at once. And even within that balancing act, there are things that are very precarious and things that might, if one false step is made, it could upset the entire balance of things. But it's balanced so skillfully, so artfully, so perfectly. And at the center of this is a kind of a tender sense of a love story, which I think is so brilliantly rendered, thanks due to many factors, including, for instance, the great performances, including by Sally Hawkins. I'm a huge admirer of the work of Sally Hawkins, so this will be another great opportunity to watch this. Again, I've seen this only once, so I have to rewatch it more times, so I can't wait to be able to have that opportunity with the Criterion release again for November 26th. Wow. So this is the work from Guillermo del Toro, and this is the film scheduled for release November 26th at Spy number 1242. And it's the film The Shape of Water. Wow. And last but certainly not least, scheduled for release also November 26, 2024, and this is for Spy number 1241. This is a film which is described as being from the year 1973. And the name of the filmmaker is Peter Bogdanovich. And the name of the film is Paper Moon. This is described as being a new 4K digital restoration, and it's going to be given the 4K plus Blu-ray release treatment or a single disc Blu-ray release. So you have your choice there. I remember seeing this for the first time in a class at school when I was young, very, very young. I would have been maybe 7th grade or so, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. No, it would have been before 8th grade. 7th, 8th grade, something like that, on a VHS tape that the teacher played in the class. It was played over a number of classes, but the teacher was telling us all the time that this is a great movie. This is a great movie. And I remember the teacher saying also that, it's in black and white, but don't worry, it's a great movie. I remember that phrase for some reason, but I didn't see the film prior to that. I'd never heard of Paper Moon. It never registered to me when I was in 7th grade, Peter Bogdanovich. But the teacher showed us Paper Moon in class and on a TV monitor and in installments. And it was so fun. It was such a great time, and the rapport between Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal in this film. I remember the teacher telling us, they're really father and daughter, Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal. So and just remember that when you watch the film. And so this is, and I was so fascinated with that, and that also didn't register to me at the time. But ever since then, this film has been, I've been very fortunate to be able to revisit this film over the years, including a physical media release several years back. But now we've got it in the Criterion collection, and again, purported to be based on what is described as a new 4K digital restoration. So it'll be interesting to see what that 4K digital restoration, how it stacks up. We will explore that. But this is a real treat. This is a real treat. And I can say too, I watched it as a 7th grade or 8th grade or something like that. So I was a kid, and I had a lot of fun with it. And then years later, maybe rewatching it on one night or something. By this time, I was already married, and I already I had my family and my daughter, and so I was looking at it from that perspective. Many years later, and it affected me. Watching Paper Moon affected me in ways that are really quite powerful indeed. Just looking at it through those eyes, and the father-daughter dynamic of it, both off-screen and on-screen, and in interesting, captivating ways. For those who know the film, you know what I'm speaking about. We'll talk a little bit about it when we explore the film more, but it had a kind of charm and power that I found very overwhelming, and I still do. And it's a funny film. It's also a very tender film. And Peter Bogdanovich, I mean, it's now, it feels like, in terms of the life and career and times of Peter Bogdanovich, I think Criterion is doing such a great job with the celebration of the legacy of great filmmakers, and filmmakers perhaps whose films are getting the re-release treatment and being given the opportunity for people to watch the films again, or for people to explore them and discover them for the first time. And so films like The Last Picture Show and Texasville from a few months back, and now Paper Moon. So this is going to be something. And I mentioned the cast: Ryan O'Neal, Tatum O'Neal, Madeline Kahn, of course. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Paper Moon is coming to the Criterion collection. Cannot wait to talk about this one. So, it's been released before on physical media outside of Criterion, but November we'll see the Criterion release of the film, which is Paper Moon. Is that the end? I mean, this is a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 titles, plus November 19th, the CC40 box set, which is we've spoken about in a separate video. So we've got a total of 6 titles, which we've spoken about today, plus that separate box set. So 7 titles. All right. Yeah, seven releases, I should say. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to let it all soak in. It's a pretty cool month. What am I saying? This is an absolutely mind-blowing month. November tends to be the mind-blowing month of Criterion. November tends to be that month where you get a lot of these high-profile releases. And 2024 looks to me to be no exception to that. I mean, this is mind-blowing. I like the sort of variety from a certain. There's only so much you can do in terms of variety when you have, say, 4, 5, 6 titles within a month. I get that. So, but even so, I like the variety in terms of new releases, new films in the Criterion Collection physical media catalog, like Scarface, the Howard Hawks version of Scarface, or Funny Girl, A Paper Moon, The Shape of Water, and then also re-releases of current catalog titles of the Toho 1954 duo of Seven Samurai and Godzilla. Really, really cool indeed. plus the CC40 set, and we've spoken about that in a separate video. I should point out that I'm a little bit, maybe not, maybe concerned, or I'm a little bit wary of the fact that I'm not seeing any DVD releases for the new catalog titles. So usually within the month for a new release, so far we'll see at least one or two titles, maybe more, that will also get an alternative DVD release, but not so here, at least based on my understanding of the website. So I'm a big supporter of the DVD format, but I don't know if this means anything in terms of Criterion's approach to the DVD format going forward, but we shall have to wait and see. But this is something that just to keep in mind, maybe put it in the back of your mind for now, my dear friends. But that point aside, this is, what's the phrase, like gargantuan or humongous, or like a kind of, this is a gargantuan, humongous month. I don't know what I'm going to do for money. This is just, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to hope for 50% off sale during this time, especially if I'm eyeing that CC40 set. I'm still considering that, my dear friends. But this is going to be a huge month. And just returning to this, I love the variety here. I do love the variety. From early 1930s up to the 20 teens and everything in between. This is a humongous, giant month for Criterion. So, I don't know what I'm excited for more. I'm not sure. I'm a Funny Girl, watch Shape of Water again, or Scarface, or Paper Moon, or to be able to hear what everyone's going to respond to when Seven Samurai and Godzilla hit the market. Not of course. I mean, especially to the recent releases from previous months as well. So very exciting. So as I am recovering from the excitement and thrill of this, I'm going to have to take a few more days to recover from this. I mean, if I'm feeling this way, I don't know how I'm going to feel when we get to November. Starting with that November 5th release of Godzilla. Wow. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So, this is awesome. All right. So I'll leave it there. We'll have to wait and see when the items arrive, of course. But in the meantime, my dear friends, what do you think? What are your reactions? What are your responses to the November 2024 release slate? Are you happy? Are you upset? Are you disappointed? Are you ecstatic? Are you meh? It's so okay. Whatever it is you feel, my dear friends, please feel free to let me know in the comments section below. As always, I'm very curious, and I'm very happy to hear what it is you have to say. So please let me know about your feelings on the November 2024 releases from Criterion. But that, my dear friends, has been my initial responses or reactions to this. So, but let me leave it there, and let me say too that I very much hope that this video finds you well, and that you continue to watch a lot of great movies, including titles in the Criterion Collection, including titles outside of the Criterion Collection, all across the board, streaming, movie theaters, Blu-rays, DVDs, 4Ks, drive-in theaters, whatever it is, my dear friends. I hope you're able to watch a lot of great movies, because you deserve it. You really do. So with that, my dear friends, I'll see you at the next video. But until then, stay strong, stay safe, and cheers.